I want to say a few words about UFO-Sweden and also about AFU, Archives for the Unexplained. But I will start with UFO-Sweden, since we investigated 299 cases last year, and one of them were labeled UFO. And that was a case from 2018. So we had really no UFO sightings in Sweden last year when it comes to our investigations. And of course, we are very active on Facebook and on Instagram and Twitter. And we also run a homepage like this. And most of the people are reporting through this website. Very few people call us anymore or write letters, which is even scarce. But I would like to focus on some things that not all organizations do nowadays. Your Italians are doing it, and we are doing it. We are publishing 2 different magazines from UFO-Sweden. A glossy magazine with 1,200 copies, and a smaller one with 500 copies. There we publish every single report we are getting. And we do something very unique here in Sweden, because if we turn around our magazine UFO-Aktuellt, it's a Norwegian magazine coming from the other end. So we work together with Norsk UFO Center and do this magazine together to save money. And it's a very good project, which is benefiting both of us, really. What we did not do last year, we did not have a field investigation trainee course. We have had that since 1976. But last year we had to cancel it, and that we are very sorry about that, because we are educating around 50 or 60 people every year. But what I really want to tell you about is a little more about AFU, because I think AFU should be a very big part of the European community and what we do together. So I will give you a little presentation about AFU here. It was founded in 1973. And we do a lot of things. We collect things from many different fields nowadays, from the hardcore skeptics to the most ardent believers, really. And you can find us here at the afu.se. And this is what AFU looks today. We have 14 localities, 550 square meters, and 3 kilometers of bookshelves. So it's quite an enterprise. As you can see, we have a huge library, lots of magazines, and 1 million newspaper articles around that. Gesundheit. And we keep files from more than 100 smaller UFO groups, but also some of the most important groups in the world, like those, Flying Saucer Review, Centro de Estudios Interplanetarios, and so on. And we keep most of their holdings at AFU today, and also from those more Scandinavian and also recently arriving last year, the William Corley's files, which is hugely important. We got half of them last year, and we will have the next half shipped during 2021. And we are right now working with the Wendell Stevens files. We have saved around half of his files. It's 1,000 kilos. And we are waiting for his picture files coming from Florida this week, probably, or next week. And it's a lot of people that have helped us during the years, donating stuff to AFU. And we try to scan as much as we can, really. This is Leif Åstrand, who is head of scanning. And together with Barry Greenwood and some other ufologists around the world, he is mostly working with scanning magazines, but this is our download site, which you can visit and bring home clippings or whatever you want. But if you take a look at the magazine section, you will find hundreds of magazines from different countries. If we just take a look at the British ones, and I should say that we do this really much together with Isaac, who helps us to get clearance for the copyright holders and to be able to publish those magazines for free on our download site. It's a lot of work behind this. thousands of hours of scanning. But we also have quite a few nice pictures in our huge picture archives. A picture not seen that often, but of course you recognize those. And we have a copy of the Blue Book files, 110 microfilms from the Blue Book files. And when the British Flying Saucer Bureau took down their sign, I traveled to Dennis Plunkett outside Bristol and brought the sign back with me, and also a huge part of their archives. Most of it were lost forever, I'm sorry to say, but what was left is now at AFU. We have loads of newspaper clippings and also very many nice Russian samizdat publications and case files from many, many countries, like this one from Cynthia Hines' work in Zimbabwe. And this nice original, like the Smoky Stour book here that gave Foo Fighters their name, is at AFU. And this original marine poster that was put on every merchant ship in the US and Canada, telling people to watch out for UFOs as well. But I will just give you one example before concluding this, how it looks like when we save files from other countries. And this story could be repeated many, many, many times over and over again. I met with Gordon Creighton in 2000. And in July 2003, he passed away. And I was in England shortly thereafter and contacted his son, got the key to his house and entered it together with a friend from UFO-Sweden. After being told from his son, do not walk up to the second floor, which we did, of course, immediately. The door was crammed, and it took us 15 minutes to cram it open so we could enter the room. And this was what we were seeing inside the room at the very top of the stairs. Files and books and papers everywhere, everywhere. We found a staircase. We didn't see it was a staircase from the beginning. We thought it was just another pile of books. But when we cleared that, we entered another level, and it was a library upstairs. And out in the garden, we found several sheds filled with paperwork as well. And in the barn, a couple of kilometers away, we met with Howard Reinbach, who worked with Gordon Creighton. And there, it was the Flying Saucer Review back issues collection, all damp because there was no door for this barn. And everything turned up eventually at Edwin Joyce's facility in a garage in Rickmansworth. And I met with him 10 times from 2003 to 2013. And at least the last time he gave up and said, okay, take it. So we brought it back to Sweden, and it's now sorted. And Anders Liljegren is working now with cataloging, and we will start scanning much of this stuff as soon as we can. So to wrap it up, what do we want really? We want to be an archive for you and the world. We want to be a depository and to help ufologists from all countries really. But of course, Europe is our main focus. And the future is to save the fortune history before it is lost, because things are lost all the time. Some of the times come too late to save files. They are trashed, put on the dump. We want to make this all available for you, for the researchers, and to build a better website, and to be able to expand. But to be able to do that, we need sponsors. We have 40 Swedish sponsors and 2 international ufologists today who helps us. With another 20, with 50 euros a year, we could rent another much needed facility. And in 2022, we will launch a crowdfunding effort to be able to move everything into one single facility. And if you want to read about this, you can read this book. I wrote a year and a half back, Files of the Unexplained, which is AFU's history. And I really hope that you can see the benefit of being a part of this, and don't hesitate to ask us for help, because we really want to help everyone as much as we can, with questions, with magazines, with visitations, with well, whatever you want. It can take some time, but eventually we will help you, I can assure you. And with that, I thank you for listening to me.